Welcome to Michigan Reimagined, presented by Good Marketing and Wagoner Financial. And here's your host, Chris Buck.
The parent company of Holland Home, one of the state's largest nonprofit senior living providers, has rebranded and aims to make a more substantial impact on the lives of older adults in the region. The Grand Rapids-based entity formerly known as Christian Living Services is now known as Trillium Living. Here to share more details is Trillium Living CEO Troy Vugteveen. Thanks for joining me today, Troy.
Yeah, great to be on with you, Chris.
Right on. All right. So when was Lansing Christian Services founded, and what facilities do you own and operate, just to give people some perspective on your footprint?
Yeah, so we've been around for over 130 years, Chris. So we were founded in 1892, and it was founded as Holland Home. So a lot of people know that name here in West Michigan. It served a lot of people over the years, and we're now currently in 45 counties. But it started out right here in Grand Rapids. Started out by a church, Third Reformed Church, right here, and it was originally founded to serve 8 widows that they had in their church. Huh. And that's how it kind of got started, an old farmhouse. And they were just there to provide care for those people that they knew needed some additional care. And now 130 years later, we are telling our story and trying to put it together all under one umbrella, which is the Trillium Living name. And so we're excited about that, but a lot has been birthed out of Holland Home.
That's absolutely amazing. I honestly obviously did some research in preparation for this interview, but I'd missed 130 plus years is an amazing story to tell. So obviously you're doing something right. And but you have kind of 4 macro entity service categories, if I can put it that way. Can you share with our listeners what those 4 service providing entities are?
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to say it, the way you kind of lined it out there. So these kind of 4 service lines, if you could kind of picture in your mind what those might look like, it would kind of be, we have one category where we're calling it senior living and health. So that's really people that are out in the community. They want to come and live in a facility, whether it's independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, whatever it is that they might need. That all comes under the category of senior living.
Okay.
And then we have aging in place, and aging in place is people that are still out in the community. So we serve over 7,000 people a day that are living out in the community. So they still might be in their homes, they're living there, and we have 4 different companies that really function on meeting the needs of people out in the community. That's Reliance Community Care Partners, Atrio Home Care, Care Resources, and Tandem 365. So that would kind of be under that category, Chris, of aging in place. And then if you wanted to think of another category, you could think of a category that we call care and comfort. And this really is a category that focuses on our hospice care and our palliative care programs. So those are 2 different companies, Faith Hospice that we have that provides obviously end-of-life care, and then Faith Palliative Care. And Faith Palliative Care is there to really provide services that help people to live life to the fullest when they might be going through some tough treatments or some different things. It's not necessarily connected to end of life, but it's more about how to make life as best as it can be, depending on what it is that they're currently going through.
Got it.
And then that 4th category, we call it education and advocacy. And this, we have a company called Dementia Institute falls under that, and then another company called Trillium Institute. And really the focus of those 2 organizations is on education and advocacy, just like it sounds. And so we're there to provide services to those in the community that might be looking for more help with dementia care, especially those that are caregivers out there. And then Trillium Institute, just to keep it simple, is really it's a kind of a fellowship program that we have that works with doctors that are going into palliative care. So So that's really kind of just short and sweet to you, how we define these 4 different categories. And, we're serving a lot of people through those different organizations now.
Well, in 130 years, it seems like you've really learned how to meet people where they are, right? I mean, everything you just described are different phases of the journey and different needs of the people in our community. And it seems like you've responded pretty admirably to be able to give, regardless of what they're looking for. It seems like you've got an entity that can kind of serve that specific need, which is admirable. So that's great.
Yep.
So
you're exactly right.
but it seems like a heavy lift. I mean, you mentioned 45 counties, and so how many people does Trillium employ, and do you ever measure the footprint of how many people you serve in a month or a year?
Yeah, we do. That's a great question, Chris. We employ over 1,500 people, and we are currently serving a little over 16,000 a year.
Wow.
So those are kind of one-time touches. So every day we're serving a little over 7,000 people a day out in the community here. And really what that equates to is, if you kind of looked at a map of the state of Michigan, we're in 45 counties that we're serving people, and we're all the way from right here in West Michigan all the way up to the bridge at Mackinac.
Okay.
City there. So we have a big footprint, and but it's all these different services that really make up what we're doing here. And really, when it comes to facilities, our facilities are mainly here in West Michigan. So it's really our Raybrook facility and our Bretton Woods facility, and then we also have an inpatient hospice program, which is right here in West Michigan as well, too, in Byron Center. So those make up really our facilities here, but the rest of it is all community-based services where seniors want to stay in their home, and we're able to bring the services to them. We're able to bring them what they might need. And, in fact, it sounds kind of strange, but one of our companies is Reliance Community Care Partners, and that's one of our bigger entities. That's they're really the ones that are serving all the way to Mackinac Bridge. But the goal of that organization is to keep people out of skilled nursing. So we have skilled nursing facilities, but we're on both ends of it. So we actually provide services that keep people out of skilled nursing, even if they qualify for those services. So we bring services to their home. We contract with others that help to do that, and we make sure that their health care and their case management is being done well. So we're kind of all over the place when it comes to these types of services. Atrio Home Care, that's providing care in people's homes. So we come in and we do rehab, and we can do kind of whatever it is that they would need, but it helps them to stay right there in their home. And then Care Resources, which is another one of our community organizations. Those are really kind of like set up like day centers. And it's a PACE program, which is a program. It's an all-inclusive program for the elderly, and really what that's doing is it's going out, picking up seniors that live in their homes, and we're bringing them to one of our day centers. We serve over 400 people a day now with that program. And so when they come into one of our day centers, they're able to see a doctor, a dentist, a podiatrist, whatever their need is. We're able to kind of take care of it there for them. They come in for activities, different things, and then we bring them back to their place in one of our buses. And so that continues to be a growing program, and it's meeting the need out there of people that might not necessarily be able to afford going into skilled nursing, but we're still being able to provide them with the services that they need. And in fact, there are services that help them to actually stay in their home. So we're excited about some of those services, and we want to serve kind of the whole senior population. And really what we are as Trillium Living is a senior population health organization. So we're covering all the gamuts that are out there for seniors, whether they want to live at a facility or if they want to stay in their home. And also trying to help out their families as well, too, as they try to navigate what's the best care for my mom or my dad. That's kind of just an overview.
No, that makes a ton of sense. As I sit here and think about aging parents, right? And hearing your message, I think a lot of folks, in our worlds, think about putting your elderly family or parent, members into a home and hope that they get great services. But what you just explained is so much more than that, and the aging in place. And I think that's something that people have heard of the concept, but it's like, okay, well, if mom and dad age in place, then do I have to go try to be an ad hoc nurse, or how do I get local? I live in Grand Rapids, and mom and dad are up in Traverse City, and I can't drive up there a couple hours each way every day to make sure that they're getting the care that they need. So it seems like Trillium Living kind of covers all of those gambits. I guess my question is, how does someone who's listening, who's about to navigate aging parents, or even themselves as they get into their aging years, how do you get kind of consultations through Trillium Living as to explain to me what's available? Here's where I live. Here's what I think I need now, but who knows what I'll need in another 10 years. I got to believe that you've got some sort of an intake system that helps kind of screen folks and make sure that they understand everything that's available to them.
Yeah, we do. So, in fact, so depending on what it is that somebody would be looking out there for when it comes to the care of their loved one or for care for themselves, each one of these entities has a specialty. So, for instance, with Dementia Institute, Chris, if that's probably one of the biggest things that we see out there right now when people are trying to navigate kind of the world of senior care right now. Dementia is huge on the list of things that people are being challenged with, that loved ones and families are looking for support. One of the biggest areas of burnout right now are family caregivers, right, and trying to provide care for their loved one, trying to keep their job going, all these different elements. They have their own kids as well, too. They're kind of that sandwich generation between their own kids and their parents. So they're doing everything they can do. But one of the things that's happening more and more is the dementia diagnoses that are out there, and they're becoming higher and higher as far as the frequency goes. And so a lot of times people are trying to navigate what are my next steps when it comes to dementia care for my loved one. And Dementia Institute is there to do that. So they actually provide training for caregivers. They provide training for family members, and that training can be from as simple as just understanding what it is and what it means, all the way to what are different techniques and what are different tools that can be used to help my loved one as they are continuing to see a decline when it comes to their mental stability with dementia or different diagnoses. So Dementia Institute is one example of how we're navigating this for people, and we can do this through in-person visits. We can also do it through through like telehealth type visits, where they can get onto an iPad and we're there to walk them through the process and what's going on with their loved ones. And so that's one example of how we're navigating this for people. People that might want to come and live in our facilities. We have staff that are here that are trained that help people to understand what are the options if you want to come and live in a facility, and they walk them through that. I would say Reliance is a great example of care navigation. They're really there to help people to figure out how do we put together the best plan for my loved one to help them remain in their home and bring services to them. And that's really what Reliance Community Care Partners does. They're what's called a Medicaid waiver program. So these are people that are eligible for skilled nursing, but may not want to be going into a skilled nursing facility. So Reliance tries to help with either keeping them in their home, and they also help with transitioning people out of skilled nursing to go back to their home. So a number of different ways that things can be navigated. Atrio Home Care is another great example where with Atrio, we'll go into the home, we'll provide rehab for people, possibly after they've been discharged from a skilled nursing facility or discharged from the hospital. We help them kind of navigate that road to recovery. When you think of like a broken hip or knee replacements or other things that require medical attention while they're still in their home, Atrio Home Care is able to do that. So, it could probably go on and on, but it's Faith Hospice is another one too, where a lot of people they may choose to try to spend their remaining days in their own home, and that's what Faith Hospice is there for. They go into the home, our doctors go into the home, and they provide the support and the care that's needed for the person that's in their home. It's not 24-hour-a-day care, but it's knowing that somebody is there and is able to come when needed for that type of care. So I think that kind of gives an idea of kind of some of the ways that we help to navigate things out there for people.
Sure.
And actually, whether it's going into a facility or staying in their home, we're able to help navigate that for them.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it's really all about having a plan, and give a nod to one of our sponsors. Whether you're just starting out, planning for retirement, or anywhere in between, Wagoner is here to help you make smart financial decisions. Wagoner Financial offers comprehensive, customized planning from investment strategies and tax solutions to insurance, accounting, and estate planning. Wagoner is dedicated to supporting you, your family, your business, and your future. Using their unique team approach, their team members' specializations ensure that you'll have someone who can have an answer to your question and is ready to help. Schedule consultation by visiting wagoner-financial.com or give them a call at 517-853-3367. You know, when I was reading in your press release, one of the things that really struck me is how, you're rebranding to Trillium Living kind of organizes your team to be able to really understand all the changing kind of needs and wants of the aging population. Can you share with us a little bit about how maybe today's seniors are different than the seniors from the 60s and 70s, and maybe even the 8 widows that you've initially kind of became founded for helping to support? It's a changing series of needs and wants. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's very perceptive. I think it's much different than what it used to be back, especially in 1892 when we first started. And I would say, really what people are looking for, what we're seeing is, especially when people come to facilities in our independent living areas, is they want a place to come to that's going to provide vibrancy for them, that they're not coming here because it's kind of the end of their life. They're coming here because they want to be a part of a community. They want to be a part of something that's vibrant and is moving forward and keeps them active. And that's really what Holland Home, with our facilities, that's what we're all about. So we have a program called Vibrant Living. And I would say when we see seniors coming in to our facilities, what they're looking for is they're looking for classes that offer exercise type courses. We have personal trainers, actually. So that's much different than what it used to be years ago, where you used to go to the gym to see your personal trainers. Now we have everything right in-house for people. So we have personal trainers. We have people that are just fitness instructors. So depending on what level of exercise people are looking for, we're able to meet that for them. We have different swim classes because we have swimming pools in our facilities for independent living. And it's a very active lifestyle. We're very, very focused on our mission. And one of our bullet points is we talk about we're going to follow Christ's teachings and example in what we do. And so in our facilities here, we have Bible studies for people. We have services on Sunday for people that they can attend if they don't want to go out to their own church in the area, if they already have a church that they're a part of. So I think one of the biggest differences is that you'd see from between now and probably 20, 30 years ago is there's more of a vibrancy. There's more of a people are coming here to live, not just because they're coming to be cared for or to focus on these could be my last days. It's not that at all. But then when the care is needed, and when they do need additional health care or whatever that looks like, then they have the blessing of being in a place where they have assisted living, skilled nursing, and even memory care facilities if that's needed for people. So I think the biggest difference, Chris, is that people can come here, they live life, they live it to the fullest, they have a great team of people that are surrounding them to help them with that, whether it's activities or going out doing different things, exercise, whatever it might be, it's there for them. But then they know, if I need health care, I'm at the right place because I know I'm going to get top-notch health care if needed. And so I would say that's probably one of the biggest differences that you see now. And I would also say, too, the healthcare differences are much different. So it used to be people would go to the hospital and would recover in hospitals, or their hospital stays would be pretty lengthy.
Yep.
That's not happening so much anymore. People are in the hospital for 1, 2, 3 days, maybe a week at the most, and they're getting discharged pretty quickly. And part of our role is to bring people back here, make them as comfortable as possible, help them in that recovery stage, and get them recovered as quickly as possible so they can continue to live life. So yeah, it's much different, like you said, and it's a different environment. But lots of improvements have happened over the years.
Well, that's great. That's great. And as we kind of get close to the end of the interview, I want to thank my friends over at Triterra Environmental. Triterra is a leading environmental consulting firm headquartered in Lansing, Michigan, with staff around the state to serve your brownfield development, environmental consulting, and natural resource management needs. Since 2008, Triterra has been successfully advising a wide range of organizations to implement solutions to complex environmental challenges. If you're a business, a developer, a property owner, a lending institution, an attorney, or a governmental entity looking for a solution and you want prompt and timely service, don't hesitate in contacting my friends at Triterra. Led by CEO and visionary Don McNabb, JP Buckingham, and Dave Van Haren, and supported by dozens of technical experts you can't miss by calling Triterra at 517-702-0470 or visit them at triterra.us. So, I got to tell you, Troy, it's really nice to hear, all of these services available around the state for people who are navigating a really emotional and challenging time for their family members or even for themselves. So I applaud and tip my cap to the work that you and your team are doing. And the headline is that Christian Living Services is now branded as Trillium Living. Is there anything that we haven't shared that you want to talk about your mission and your evolution of this brand?
I think as far as the evolution goes, I think we were able to kind of cover that. I think the mission is always something that's at the forefront of who we are. It's what drives us. It's what keeps us moving to that next area of service to make sure we're meeting the needs of people out in the community. But our mission is really what we're grounded on, and we're proud of our mission statement, and we, like I said, we drive everything from that. But really, our mission is focused on, there's kind of three key elements to it. We want to serve with love and compassion. We're going to commit to excellence. We're going to follow Christ's teachings and example in all that we do. And I think it's that third bullet point that really keeps us focused, that we want to make sure that people know that we're Christ-centered, and we're here to serve and to be a part of this community in a way that helps to be a brighter light and provide the services that are needed for people. So we feel blessed to be in Michigan here and to be serving the state of Michigan, and we look forward to seeing how this can be done in more and better ways as we continue to move forward.
Fantastic. How can people learn more about Trillium Living?
Yeah, probably the easiest way is just go right to the website. And a pretty simple website. It's just www.trilliumliving.org. And the nice thing about going to that website is that will direct you to our other websites as well, too, whether that's Holland Home, Reliance Community Care Partners, whether it's Faith Hospice. Each one of these has their own website as they're kind of standalone companies. But by going to trilliumliving.org, that's a great way for people to kind of navigate what the care is that they're looking for, and that'll direct them to the right spot. Fantastic.
Well, I appreciate all the information. Hopefully our listeners really pricked up their ears and decide to check that out. So trilliumliving.org. We've been speaking to their CEO, Mr. Troy Vugteveen. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Congratulations on the evolution, and I look forward to maybe utilizing your services downstream sometime.
Yeah, sounds great, Chris. It was a pleasure to be on with you, so thanks for having us.
Thank you. All right, and I'd like to give a final shout-out to all my loyal sponsors, Wagoner Financial, Good Marketing, Triterra Environmental, Keller Williams Advantage and Team, Michigan Rise, Kirk Byron State Farm, and the attorneys at Foster Swift. All fantastic people worth the call, and if you found the show as a one-off, I want to remind you to follow and subscribe to Michigan Reimagined on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere you find your podcasts. This is Chris Buck signing off for Michigan Reimagined.